But that's okay. Sometimes it do be buggy. Sometimes it do be buggy. Okay, today I'm going to try reading. I know, scary. One of the scariest things I ever tried. I'm brain lagging. Ah, here we go. Let's switch over to Reddit. Here we go, Reddit. And let's switch from new to top for... not today, let's go for this week. Because those are most of the time a little less, well, obvious. Okay, now let me announce the stream real quick before I forgot about that. Bam! And send it here. No. Ah, now it worked. And send it here. And on Blue Sky I can also go live with the funny button. Okay, also today's stream is gonna be a little shorter, mostly because my voice is for some reason still a little off. I wouldn't say it's dead or not doing too well, blah blah blah. I feel like it's okay. But I'm still feeling it feeling it slightly in my throat. So I don't wanna be too I don't wanna ruin my voice for the next stream. After all, I do need to be able to yap if I want to be able to stream. Okay, let's start with the first one, the highest of this week. Am I the asshole for giving my daughter's loft space to her sister when she moved in with her dad full time? Okay. Who the fuck even has loft space? Imagine being able to afford that. I, 38 female, and my ex, 40 male, have 2 daughters. Hope! I'm sorry. Hope, 15 female, and Grace, 13 female. We divorced 3 years ago, and our divorce process was messy. As it usually is. And it unfortunately caused some strain with Hope and I. My ex had some comments about me breaking up our family by filing for divorce, and she ate it up. Okay. I can only take a word for that. I didn't assume the blame with words, but I didn't defend myself either. Oh, you didn't take the blame. Okay. I feel like I'm really getting more and more illiterate every time I try to read something. My ex and I both moved into new houses after the sale of our family home. And this was our early sore spot for Hope. Because it was my fault she lost her home. Well, wouldn't it be both of your fault? Nah, whatever. Hi Ron! Hi! Hi, how are you doing? We currently live in a 3-bedroom home, and one of the smaller bedrooms has a loft area above it. When we moved in, Hope and Grace decided that Hope can have the bedroom with the loft since it'll help keep her art supplies contained. Oh, you're drawing? Oh, you gotta send it in the Discord when you're finished. I wanna see your art. Okay. So she wanted the bigger space because she can keep all her shit there. My ex and I shared the girls 50-50 until 7 months ago, when Hope moved in with him full-time. She had been asking since our separation if she could just stay with him, and I agreed. We still see each other and text frequently, and she stays over every other weekend. 2 weeks ago, Grace asked me if she and Hope could switch bedrooms since she is the one who is with me more, and that is unfair that Hope has so much space when she's barely here. I talked with their dad and Hope to ask them how they both felt about our new arrangement, and Hope pointed out that our relationship has improved a lot since we aren't butting heads so much anymore. Since everyone is pleased with the current sleeping arrangement, I gave Grace the okay to switch rooms. I told Hope of the room change and asked her to sort through her room and loft that she could keep track of what she has and where it is. Wait. Did you ask them? Wait, Grace asked me if I could switch her. I talked with their dad and Hope and asked them if they prefer. Huh? So you asked them and she said nothing about it? Yeah. Huh? Oh, there we go. Well, okay. Why does she say in the first, here says she talked to her daughter, and then she just says here that she didn't talk to her daughter, which is kinda... okay. I told Hope of the room change and asked her to sort through her room and lofts that she will... Yeah, we talked about that, where all that stuff is. She didn't take it well. She told me that she knew she was right to leave my house because I favor Grace and she always felt like she was the second favorite child. I never meant to make her feel like the second best, but I have to admit that I do have a soft spot for Grace because their dad openly favors Hope's. Since she is more like him and I didn't want Grace to feel lesser because of it. So she does have a favorite. Okay. And yes, Grace is more like me. I was firm with Hope and reminded her that she was the one who left to go to her dad's full-time and that she is using the loft more than storage than for actual utilization. Utilization, yeah. I reminded her that she was the one who went to her dad full-time, that she is using the loft more for storage than utilization. Hope started to cry and said she felt like she was being pushed out of my life. She called her dad to pick her up, which he did. He told me that I was being unfair because if Hope was still going back and forth between homes, the larger room would have stayed hers, so why change it up? Let me move chat real quick. Oh, yeah, it's a commission. Well, that sucks. Yeah, you don't have to share it if it's a commission. Don't worry about that. Grace isn't losing anything by being in her old room. I told him that Grace is the one who spends more time with me, so she should be able to pick which room she wants. His final remark was that I always favored Grace and that's why I lost Hope. Okay. It's been 2 weeks and Hope's text has been... tense, I assume? With her sister and I. She won't eat dinner at the table with us and she hasn't stayed the night. Okay, what do the comments says? This is above Reddit's pay grade. Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. I feel like the mom is really favoring her one daughter while the dad is favoring the other one, so I feel like everyone's kind of an asshole here. At the same time, it does make sense that the kid that's staying there longer has the bigger room. But that's something you ask both kids instead of just asking one kid and then just switch it up. It's crazy that from the likes of this post, she didn't even ask her daughter first, just told her after it's already done. Am I the asshole for making my husband late? Okay, let's see. Yeah, I feel like I didn't read all too well for the first one. But also, I gotta admit, I didn't stumble over that many words, so maybe I'm actually getting better at reading. Reading out loud is kinda hard. Okay, am I the asshole for making my husband late? My husband and I share a car. He goes to work over a mountain, which is about a 12-minute drive from our house. Okay. 12-minute drive isn't too far. You can make that pretty easily. My husband wakes up at 7:15 almost every morning. Well, he has to be at work at 7:30 or 7:45. Okay, that's crazy. If it's a 12-minute drive, bro is like jumping out of bed and immediately driving to work. That gotta be so disgusting. Like, imagine being that guy's co-worker. We do have 3 large dogs and a cat, so I have to get them. So I have to get up and let them out, feed them breakfast and brush their teeth and brush my teeth and get them dressed and get dressed. Yeah, you don't have to brush the cat's teeth. Not yet, not every day. Which apparently using the bathroom and brushing your teeth in the morning if you're me and you're my husband, and should be optional because I could have done it at a later time. If you're me and you're my husband. Oh, yeah. Okay. So she really wants to use the bathroom at the same time. I feel like the husband just has to get up earlier. Like, bro literally has 3 minutes to get ready and drive to work. That's a crazy amount of time. Today my husband is yelling at me because he is obviously running late as per usual and starts to scream at me in the car. Wait, why are you in the car? Because apparently he was waiting on me while I had my head up my ass. When I told him that he manages his morning routine like a 10th grade boy instead of a grown man. I mean, she could just dodge the bathroom for those 3 minutes, but at the same time, bro, get up if you're finishing. If you're literally getting done in 3 minutes, that's just kinda fucking gross. Bro doesn't even have the time to properly wash himself. He tells me, no, it's my fault because I could have waited to take care of the dogs until after I got home. Oh, you have work at the same time? Yeah, you should have maybe said that. And that I have all day to do that. As if I don't have shit to do myself. Or that I should make sure I get up earlier to take care of things. Anyways, I told him he could have fed them breakfast while standing there waiting on me, so I could have just gotten dressed, but apparently that's my bad, not his. I'm the problem is pretty. Yeah, okay, sure. He screams bloody murder at me in the car. That there's no excuse if he's running late. That I should put his job above all else. Okay. So, am I the asshole? Before the edit, clearly, why is Bro getting up 3 minutes before he has to leave? That's kinda weird. Okay, I wanna see the additional info. Sorry for not responding, as I have personally been at work. Damn, she's working. Oh, she is dropping him off. From our... Why didn't she say that in the first post? Okay, I'm in college full-time and also working. And then doing... and then doing Instacart on the side as we're saving for our second car. I have no idea what that is. I don't care. My husband came to my shop to talk to me and say he was sorry, but I was upset with him. And he was sorry that I was upset with him, and he was worried about being brought up. Yeah, they only have one car, so they share the car. I feel like... I mean... Obviously, Bro has to get up earlier, but at the same time, if she knows it, she could at least... she could at least do her stuff, so... it's all done already. But at the same time, does she really have to get up earlier just to... does she really have to get up earlier just so she can avoid conflict with her guy? That's crazy, actually. Like, I still can't believe that Bro is getting up literally 15 minutes before he has to be at work. I couldn't do that. I need like an hour to get ready. I really don't want to know what Bro looks like at work. Like, he gotta be stinky. That's so gross. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Rich. Oh! That one sounds insane. Am I the asshole for refusing to have rules at my apartment? I, 24M, am moving into a new apartment with my siblings, 22M, 19F, to attend the same university. First sentence is already insane. That's not your apartment if you're sharing it, that's a shared apartment. I was initially only going to be moving in with my brother, but ended up adding my sister to the lease at the last minute, so she wouldn't have to live in the dorms and bring her cat. Huh? University requires first years to live on campus unless they're staying with family. That's a weird rule. My brother and I lived together for a year earlier in our university career, and it was very chill. Is this just another story about men being stinky? We never really had strict rules. If something bothered us, we'd talk about it, and a few times we didn't agree. I'd usually just take care of... And the few times we didn't agree, I'd usually just take care of it myself. For example, if we left the stove there early, the person who wanted to use it next would have just cleaned it up next time. If we left the stove dirty, the person who wanted to use it next would just clean it up the next time. Okay, sure, I do sometimes leave my kitchen dirty too, but I live alone. And I don't really have the energy. Leaving that to another person is insane. Especially if you're not eating together. Which I assume. Okay. We got into one fight when he kept drinking my energy drinks. Oh. No. When I told him to stop, he just kept saying he would buy me another one. So I just bought a small mini fridge, literally can only hold 4 cans, and kept it in my room. Problem solved. I feel like they are having a lot of problems and just ignoring all of them. I want this to be the status quo going into our new place. Just deal with problems as they come up. If the roommate is being unreasonable, solve it yourself. That sounds like you just want to put all the work on... well, on either your brother or your sister. My sister is demanding that we set strict rules for the apartment. For some background info on our family, my dad and sister have a big issue with yelling when someone does something wrong. We didn't really do punishments in my house, we just get yelled at and that was it. My sister has taken to this habit a lot, and it was one of my main hesitations letting her live with us in the first place. She picks fights, likes arguing, getting heated, and if we don't engage in the screaming match, she storms off to her room. Isn't that like literally what you're doing already right now? Just getting into arguments and handling yourself if the other person isn't listening? This is the major reason I don't want to allow these strict rules in their apartment. Setting up strict requirements around things like how clean the sink is and all feels like she's got just setting up reasons for her to be allowed to yell at us for just moving quickly in the morning and forgetting. I don't know, if you clean it up when you're back from work, that's completely fine. I don't think people are yelling at you for that. Because that's the only consequence that breaking the rule can be. I mean, yeah, that's fair, but is it that hard to keep yourself clean? On top of this, she is using the threat of these rules to demand she'd get the larger master bedroom with separate bathrooms, which we already decided would be mine in exchange for me covering the internet and utilities. When she brought all this up, I admittedly got upset with her and told her she needs to be grateful that we're letting her live with us at all. Well... because otherwise she would have to live on the at the campus with a stranger and without her cat. Like I did with my freshman year. Not proud at that blow up, but I will... but her entitlement as the youngest sibling really got on my nerves. Okay, sure, she shouldn't really claim the biggest bedroom if she is just paying the same amount of all the others, or less if bro's covering the utilities, which are pretty expensive. But it's a very reasonable rule to want your roommates to be clean. That's insane. The rules she wants are not crazy and probably won't be an issue a majority of the time, but I don't want this fight to... Okay, yeah. At that point I feel like either accept the rules or just not let her move in, which is obviously shitty. But if bro wants to be dirty, I don't think he's gonna have fun living with someone who gets upset at that. Like bro literally talks about, yeah, I want to be dirty. And sure, you can do that. But letting a more cleanly person into your house isn't a good idea then. You're still gonna suck for even offering it in the first place then. What does Reddit say? You know, oh, that isn't going to work out. Your sister is going to bring drama and turmoil. Crazy. I feel like... Yeah, Reddit people are being weird again. Yeah, sure. Sure, the sisters might yell at them, but at the same time, bro, it's not that hard to be clean. I have extreme problems with that, with being depressed and all. And even I can keep, well, at least most of my apartment clean. It would be easier if I had a second person too. That having someone in your life that helps you with that is actually a really good buff. Well, I'm calling it a buff, but for real, just having someone around who shares your living space helps a lot with keeping clean and all that stuff. Okay. Am I the asshole for setting my coworker up to bake Christmas cookies with my kids, even though it's a family tradition? Okay, my coworker B, 27 female, had a rough year last year, and she told me 30 male that she was looking forward to baking Christmas cookies with her sister. Then her sister bailed on her and she was devastated. It's just the two of them, so she would have to do it alone. And obviously that's not very Christmassy. I don't know, I feel like a lot of people are making Christmas cookies alone. She was a big support to me last year in struggling with some personal health issues, and for once I thought I had a great idea for a gift for someone. So I asked my sister who loves me, they met at Thanksgiving, if she would be willing to have a fun girls' day and bake just like a batch of sugar cookies so they could do that and decorate. She wasn't bored, so they went ahead and had their fun cookie baking with ink. So they had their fun book. Stumbling. Okay, start again. She wasn't bored, so they went ahead and had their fun cookie baking time when B had a day off. The kids loved it, my sister loved it, and B was over the moon. I came home towards the end, and when I got there, the vibes were weird. My wife was upset, so was her sister. My wife, her sisters, all the kids, every year they have a thing where they all get together and bake hundreds of cookies to give away. It's a big day and everyone loves it. I've always been in cleanup crew and cookie eater, of course. My sister-in-law Jane told me that I was going out of my way to take a special tradition away from my family to give it to some girl I work with. My POV is that there can never be too many cookies, plus it was one batch. It wasn't anywhere near close to the orchestrated effort they put together. More importantly, the kids had fun and were still excited for the big cookie day. And in fact, when the big cookie day came, everyone had a blast and no one ever brought up B's cookies. Okay. The reason I'm asking now is that it came up because we are trying to make fall plans between her family and mine. Apparently her family is still very sour over this and created some friction. I gotta admit it's kinda hard to read when sometimes there's some missing periods and shit. I've just been flat out oblivious to... Oh, never mind. This one actually isn't too bad. Long sentences in English are giga weird to read, especially without any... Yeah. Passive-aggressive comments asking, oh, can we plan to do that or is Fred going to go or out with his co-worker? I mean... Okay, let's continue reading. I've never done anything else Christmassy with B or anything like that, so I find it a little annoying they're acting like this is a thing I always do. I'd like to know if I was wrong to do this. Am I the asshole? So Bro's just inviting his co-worker to make cookies with his sister and kids. I mean, that's cool and all. It's just a little weird. I feel like it's a little weird for his wife because Bro is inviting a random woman into his into his home, which is kinda okay. Most of those Reddit stories are just like, bro, you should literally just have talked to your wife, to your sister, to blah blah blah. It ain't that hard to just say, hey, I'm planning on doing this, is that okay? Okay, let's look at the edit. Okay, adding notes. My wife was not home, so she did not have to play host or anything. Okay. It's still weird to invite someone in a shared living space when when your partner isn't home. It was just my sister B and the kids. I didn't ask my wife to be involved in baking with B because it'd be during the day when she works. Yeah, but you should have asked her if it's okay to host, or, well, not to host her, to invite her to your home. That's actually very weird. And sure, Bro can have female friends. Who cares? But at the same time, I feel like... okay, let's continue reading. I just read something. I didn't ask my wife to invite B to the big cookie day because it would have been overwhelming, overstimulating for her. Okay, sure. If you're making cookies with your kids, that's like, how many kids are there? Doesn't matter, but if you're just cooking with... One more person can be very much overwhelming, especially when you're making cookies. Or any kind of cooking. In general, I can only cook with like 2 people. If there's a third person, I'm going fucking insane. And my kitchen isn't even small, my kitchen is kinda big. So I could probably cook with like 3 or 4 people together, but it would just... it'd be complete chaos. No, I didn't ruin this by my wife or ask her ahead of time. No, I didn't run this by my wife or ask her ahead of time. This was not to exclude her out of anything, but because I figured it was just something my sister was doing with the kids. And our home is a safe place. This was not meant to exclude her or anything, but because I figured it was just something my sister was doing with the kids at our home, because it's a safe place, or someone they already knew. I didn't feel like a huge thing to me, but I'm understanding that's the problem, which is why I posted. B is not a stranger, everyone knows B. But sure, knowing someone and being friends with someone is a big difference. I feel like... I don't know, there's a big difference between doing something with your friend even inviting them to your home if you have a partner, which I think is a little weird if you didn't run it by your partner, but sure. And doing something with your kids with a friend without running it by your partner. That's just really weird. Okay, I think bro is clearly the asshole. At the same time, sure, he says she's not a random woman, but you're just giving your kids to a random woman and your sister, or just, I guess, a woman your wife might not know as well as you do. Insane. Okay, let me drink. I gotta keep my throat wet today. Wet. Ooh, that's a long one. Would I be the asshole for making sure my boyfriend's brother knows the reason we're not going to his fake birthday is because his girlfriend uninvited us when we said we couldn't do it because my boyfriend's actual birthday? Wait, I need to read this again. Would I be the asshole for making sure my boyfriend's brother knows the reason we're not going to his fake birthday? Yeah, it's because his girlfriend uninvited us. Yes. Okay. When we said we couldn't do it because of my boyfriend's actual birthday. Why does the boyfriend's brother have a fake birthday at his brother's birthday? Okay, I am very confused by this title. Let's see if I can understand it. So my boyfriend's 27, brother 31, we call him Greg, has a birthday on Christmas Eve. Because of this, my boyfriend has always done a Greg fake birthday around June to make sure Greg gets to properly celebrate his birthday with all his friends around. This year, Greg's girlfriend, we'll call her Polly, 28, is organizing Greg's fake birthday. Okay, now I understand the fake birthday. Why are they doing it in June instead of just doing it in December? Or, I don't know, November? Okay, sure. That's like so far away from your actual birthday. How can you even call it a birthday? But sure, go ahead, King. Since getting with Polly, Greg has started slowly cutting ties with everyone in his life. Boyfriend has barely seen him in the last year, and every time they do see each other, it ends with Greg claiming boyfriend has somehow upset Polly over nothing. Okay. Polly practically refuses to see boyfriend and makes sure Greg does this too. The reason Polly hates boyfriend is because Polly was originally dating Greg's best friend. And when Polly and Greg got together immediately after the breakup, boyfriend refused to lie to their friends, her ex, about it. Okay. So she broke up with Greg's best friend, got together with Greg, and Greg's boyfriend told that best friend. That is very complicated. Anyway, I could say so much about what's happened, but that's not what this is about. I feel like this is actually what it's about. The reason why she doesn't want his brother to be around him. Okay. A few months ago, Polly made a group chat to try to organize this fake birthday. She suggested late August, early September, to which my boyfriend responded that we wouldn't be able to do that because to do the 25th because that is my boyfriend's real actual birthday, and we'd be busy. Polly then kicked us off the group chat, and we went on to organize Greg's fake birthday to be and went on to organize Greg's fake birthday to be on my boyfriend's very real birthday. Okay. Everyone else is under the impression my boyfriend and I refused to go, and that's why we aren't involved. Which is not true. My boyfriend is the maker of Greg's fake birthday. Hey, of course he wants to be there. I am very confused by this post. Yeah. Okay. Crazy. So the girlfriend just planned his fake birthday on his brother's actual birthday to be petty, I guess. So now they're just saying, hey, we're not coming because that's the... So now instead of saying, hey, we're not coming because that's that randomly is also his boyfriend's birthday, they're saying, hey, she made it to be his brother's birthday. Okay, sure. That is a very weird story. And I feel like you're completely fine for just telling them. Okay, that one's gonna be hopefully a little easier to understand. Am I the asshole for talking on the phone while shopping? I was the maid of honor at a wedding, and I desperately needed earrings, so I was shopping in a hurry and I was talking with my mom on the phone, because she was going to take care of the kids and needed some info. That's actually just... Okay, who cares? She literally just went into the shop, didn't find anything, and talked on her phone. And literally, who cares? For some reason, the owner got mad at her. Yeah, okay, AITA. Let's swap over to this month. Okay, we already got the first two. Okay, am I the asshole for sending a... I love the locked comments. Or, to be fair, all of those have locked comments because it's just the bot reposting from the normal Am I the Asshole subreddit. And I think Am I the Asshole locks comments as well after a couple days. Never mind, I can still comment here. Okay. Okay, there we go. Am I the asshole for sending a long text to my husband's friend about my boundaries? This happened years ago, but I'm still thinking about it, worrying that I'm the asshole here. Okay. That is actually my 33F husband 33M. Okay. Same age relationships are always awesome. Has a long-term friendship with a guy named Rick. Okay, 33 as well. Rick has a girlfriend. I call him Jean. What? Rick has a girlfriend. I call him Jean. Call her Jean, okay? Whatever. My husband introduced me to them. We had a double date in several occasions. They had been nice to me. We gave each other gifts and at birthdays, etc. Okay, so she and her husband got some friends, just the same age, going on double dates. One day we decided to go have a dinner together again. Rick had an idea that since I worked at a restaurant at that time, we could get food from the place I worked, meaning that I was the one who brought the food. Should be an easy peasy thing to do. If Jean was not too particular with the selections of food. One night before D-Day, Sean and Rick called me and my husband to discuss about what we should get. Sean and Rick had a long allergies list. And mind you, I worked at a restaurant that served ethnic food, for lack of better term. We used a lot of spices and there's soy sauce and everything. However, I tried to accommodate since I understand that allergies can be a matter of life and death. Okay. I was very busy during my shift and still tried to be responsive to Jean, who kept texting me about the food. There were some difficult requests from Jean and Rick, such as they wanted all dishes in different containers because Jean wanted to heat the food in the pan, not microwave. So they're getting takeout. They aren't going to eat. Okay. I got mad and told my husband that I would rather cancel the dinner because I was not able to fulfill every request, and I felt Jean was being too pushy by texting me during my shifts. At that point, just order normally. Oh god. Now it's Jane. Jean and Rick were disappointed that I cancelled the plan. They said that we can easily get takeaway if bringing food is too complicated for me. Jane and Rick also now it's Jane, yeah. Jean and Rick also mentioned that my husband that actually they prepared a little gift for my birthday. Aww. I was too mad at the time. I felt that both of them didn't respect my boundaries and kept adding more requests knowing that I was in a busy shift. I sent a long text to Rick about how I felt. Okay. Husband suggested texting him instead of her. Explained my situation on the day and apologized for cancelling. I told Rick that I mainly felt not respected on the other side. Rick and my husband also had a conversation. Yeah, we should sit together and talk about this. Meanwhile, Rick didn't reply me anything. He also said to my husband that Rick and Sean felt my words were too harsh and needed time to recover from what happened. My husband was on their side more than mine. I said that I overreacted and I should not cancel the plan. Why does Reddit say this is the asshole? Like, sure, she could have just not cancelled the plan and gotten takeout. But she literally just sent them a message saying she didn't feel appreciated. Okay, let's check the comments. I'm going to say soft audio. In general, sure, the text could be mean, but at the same time I feel like I don't think she's the asshole. If they could have literally just ordered normally at her place instead of distracting her the entire time with the phone. Sending a text and being completely ghosted is also just kind of shitty of the guy friend. Is Reddit just being Reddit here, or am I missing something? Well, okay. Let's see. Oh, that sounds insane. Am I the asshole for threatening to quit my best friend's bridal party if I'm not made the maid of honor? That sounds insane. So let's read that one. My 27 female best friend 28 female is getting married. Yay! We have been best friends since 7th grade, and she was the maid of honor in my wedding a few years back. When she got engaged, I assumed I was going to be her maid of honor. Yeah, but she told me that instead she wanted her brother to be the man of honor. I was a tiny bit offended, but okay, I figured I'd get to spend less money and effort, no arguments there. Then I found out that she expects me to still do all the maid of honor duties. I'm throwing the bachelorette party, I'm helping buy or DIY decor. I'm the point person for questions and problems on the wedding day. Her excuses as to why her brother can't do any of this? He's such a young guy, I can't count on him. When I pointed out that he's older than my husband, she just brushed me off. I got mad. I told her that if I'm doing all the maid of honor work, I want the maid of honor title, or else I'll walk. Maybe I'm vain for wanting the title, but am I the asshole? Putting all the responsibility on you is kind of shitty, but you know, you could just say you're not doing that. Yeah. I feel like expecting the title if she wants her brother to do it is a little weird. But just saying, hey, you're not gonna throw the party for her if you're not the maid of honor is completely fine. Oh, that sounds interesting. Am I the asshole for saying a guy who helped me through a crisis isn't my friend? He's just a Christian. Okay, let's see. Okay, I gotta drink something real quickly. I, 26, am a Christian. I've always felt like the religion. I've always liked the religion because in my experience, the people are polite, calm and easygoing. But recently I've had a situation that left me a bit confused. Okay. A while back I went through a really dark period. I lost a parent, I was struggling financially, and because of my financial situation, I ended up losing a lot of my friends. During this time, a guy from my church, who was my group leader at the time, stepped up in a big way. He was incredibly kind, he drove me around, helped me clean my apartment, took me to the airport so I could go home, and later even helped me move. He checked in on me whenever he could. Naturally, I thought we were becoming close friends. Fast forward to now. My life is finally stable again. Since things have calmed down, I've tried to hang out with him like normal friends do. I text him and asks if he wants to go get coffee, play tennis, shoot some pool, or play PlayStation. Since I know he likes to game. Christian gamer. Every single time I'm completely ignored. He will still show up if there is an absolute emergency or if it's church related. But for the little things, chatting, catching up, accountability, venting, or just hanging out for fun, he's completely unavailable. Recently someone asked me if he and I were friends. I asked honestly and said no, he's a Christian. I feel like you can word that better. I didn't say this out of anger or hate, I just realized he wasn't helping me out of the I just realized that he was helping me out of a sense of religious obligation and not duty. Because he actually wants to be my friend. Not because he actually wants to be my friend, yeah. I decided to just categorize the relationship accurately for what it is. Well, he found out what I said, and he got really emotional and hurt that I don't consider him a friend. I feel bad that his feelings are hurt, but it's really hard for me to consider someone a friend when they ignore me 90% of the time. To me, friendship isn't just about showing up for massive emergencies. It's also about the small, casual, day-to-day stuff. That's so weird. Sure, you could say he's just like your group leader or shit, and he helped you with a lot of stuff. And I would consider someone like that a friend. But he's just a Christian is a very weird sentence. Even if bro thinks he's just doing it because of his faith, or even if bro's just doing it because of his faith, bro still helped you and was nice to you and all that. I don't think the intention really changes that he's been a really cool person to you. I feel like that's actually kind of mean. No, bro just did that because he's religious. Nah, actually thinking about it, fuck this guy. Thanks, Reddit. Okay, I am not reading those comments. Sure, even if a person is unavailable to you most of the time, he can just be I guess a lesser friend, someone who you aren't interacting with that much. Oh my god! That title, I gotta read this one. That sounds insane. Am I the asshole for telling my daughter her bio mom didn't love her more than drugs? That's why she couldn't see her. I've explained a million times. I have shown court documents. I've had the frank, hard conversations with her. It doesn't change her opinion. I can't get at her in any kind of therapy. She refuses. I feel like a piece of shit, so I'm coming here. I got custody of my niece when she was 3. She was taken away by the state, and the parent, my sister, was deemed unfit to take care of her. She lived in a drug house and overall sucked. I won't go into details, but she was not a fit parent. We told my kids stories of her mother before she went off the deep end, and I thought we made it pretty clear why she couldn't see her. When my daughter was 14, my sister was getting back into contact with the family and seemed to be clean. I met up with her and didn't like what I saw. She took no responsibility, and I decided to keep my daughter away. This resulted in her contacting her behind my back and trying to pick her up from school once. The cops were called. She wanted to meet her mom, but I didn't think it was a good idea, and was proven correct 6 months later when she stole from our mother. She went back to drugs, but sometimes would randomly text my kid. My kid was in therapy when this happened. When my kid was 17, my sister passed away, overdose, and I signed her up for grief counseling. The first time my kid saw her was at the viewing. She wanted to go. Oh. The issue is, now my kid is 20 and in college. She's upset that she never knew her bio mom. It was an argument, and I wanted her to go back to therapy, We got into an argument yesterday over it. I asked her what she wanted to eat, and she told me she wanted to eat with her bio mom, but she can't that because it didn't allow them to meet. Okay. I snapped and told her that her bio mom didn't love her more than drugs, and that's why they never met. It's not my fault she loves drugs more than her, and I'm being blamed for it. She was pissed and crying since. My husband thinks it needed to be said and that it's gone on too long. I feel like shit though. That is just crazy to say to your kid. Like, that's crazy to say to a kid you're taking care of. Like, the bio mom, sure, she shouldn't have unsupervised contact with that kid. But that's why you... Sure, trying to pick her up from school when you aren't allowed to is obviously scary. But I don't think supervised contact is scary if the daughter really wants to see the bio mom so bad. But at the same time, she is mostly just protecting the kid. She still doesn't have to yell at her or basically insult her like that. That's really crazy. Yeah, that's a good comment. Not the asshole. I don't know. That is really much an asshole move to insult your kid like that. Oh, that's a you're the asshole post. Let's see. Oh yeah, this person is literally just saying what I just said. Crazy. I love Pokemon Battle Revolution. Okay, but chat, what do y'all think about this one? I think this one is actually kinda interesting. Like, sure, she can't be blamed for the mom dying or anything like that, but I don't know, not even giving her supervised contact feels kind of just mean instead of protecting your kid. At least to me. Like, my dad was a crazy weirdo, and my mom even... and my mom didn't even shit on him this much. To be fair, my mom actually mostly defended my dad, who was a complete deadbeat, which isn't the best thing to do either. Am I the asshole for not preparing an extra gift for the kid who did not bring a gift? This actually happened last December, but I'm only now bringing it up. I'm a teacher for 3rd graders, and last year we had a Christmas celebration where there's a gift exchange. Where the kids exchange gifts through games. Okay. We told the parents to prepare a gift with a budget of under $20. One kid's mom opted for a kid to not participate in the event, i.e. not bring a gift and not taking one. He warned her that her kid might feel left out, but she said it's okay. The celebration came and I actually prepared one gift for each kid with my own money, including the kid who did not bring a gift. Okay. Then came the gift exchanging event, where the kids started playing games to decide which gift goes to who. Without a gift to exchange, the kid obviously can't join, and stood to the side and felt left out and cried. I told her she can join with the gift I gave her, but she liked it too much to risk exchanging it for something less desirable. The kid's mom was furious that the kid actually didn't get to join. I reminded her that we warned her this would happen, and she said that she didn't know her kid would care enough to cry and the teachers should have given the kid an extra gift, however cheap, to join in. Upon seeing her cry and claim the cost of the gift from the mom afterwards, so that the kid can go home with 2 gifts like the others and wouldn't felt out of place. It was last year and the kid still comes to our school, but every time her mom picks her up, the mom gives me a dirty side eye and tells the other parents about how I literally kept her kid from joining an event for not being able to afford a gift. Am I the asshole? Should I prepare the extra gift in advance? Oh god, that's actually like giga complicated. Sure, that person isn't the asshole. But at the same time, the mom, if she really just can't afford the gift, that's just a shitty situation for the kid to be in. Yeah, I don't think anyone's the asshole here. In general, I feel like that just sucks. It sucks for the kid. It sucks. It sucks because they just can't afford 20 bucks, which is very sad. But I can relate to that. In general, as a kid, I wasn't really able to afford a lot of stuff either. And I was never mad at my mom, obviously, because I just knew, hey, some people are just richer than others. And they can actually afford all the shit you want, and, well, your mom can't. But I also don't think the teacher should just prepare an extra gift. After all, it's her own salary. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. The real asshole in that story is capitalism. Am I the asshole for bringing my son on vacation? I, 39 female, have 3 kids. 9 female, 7 female, 5 male. We love cruising, but cruise cabins are built for 4 people, so bringing all 5 of us means either booking a suite or paying for 2 cabins. 2 cabins are usually cheaper, but our kids are too young to stay alone, so the second room is basically wasted. Huh? Couldn't just one of you stay with 2 kids and the other with the 3rd kid? For an upcoming trip in October, I suggested that for one cruise our youngest stay with his grandma. He absolutely loves visiting her because she spoils him. When he asked him whether he'd rather go to the cruise or stay with grandma, he immediately chose grandma. She was happy to have him. Okay, cool. That was months ago, but ever since my husband has made constant passive-aggressive comments that our son will be emotionally scarred or is acting out because he thinks we don't want him on vacation. We've asked our son repeatedly, and every single time he still chooses Grandma. we even offered to bring Grandma on the cruise, but since she couldn't join the entire trip, he still preferred staying with her. Then we got a very cheap one-room cruise offer for September. My husband suggested taking Grandma and our son on that trip to make it up to him for not coming in October. One of our daughters opted for ours, saying he's choosing not to go, and now he's getting rewarded with another vacation while I can't go. He booked that September trip for me, Grandma, and my son, but I felt guilty because it upset our daughters. This morning we argued again. We planned a long hike, but our oldest, who hates hiking and loves reading, asked to spend the day in childcare instead. My husband insisted she'd feel abandoned if we let her skip it. This is a recurring issue. I feel like he projects his own feelings on the kids and insists they secretly want to have things they've clearly said they don't. Frustrated, I booked a second cabin for our October cruise, so Grandma and our son could come too. Since he'd now be included in October, I don't think it's fair he also goes in September. When I told my son, he immediately burst into tears, saying he didn't want to come with us in October and wanted to stay with Grandma instead. My husband says I'm being spiteful and forcing our son to go in October just to prove I'm right. I told him I'm only doing this because he keeps insisting our son has been hurt when being left behind. Nah, why does Reddit say not the asshole? You're actually being the asshole if the boy just wants to stay at his grandma's and you're taking him on the cruise he doesn't want to go to. I feel like that's kinda sucky. Especially since you're literally saying, am I the asshole for making my son come to prove my husband wrong? Like, nah, fuck you. Also, I feel like maybe those two just need to either converse more, get therapy, or just ditch each other. They are so completely different with parenting. Am I the asshole for saying, damn, how many of these Oreos did you eat, when I opened up the packet of Oreos? Oh god. My wife and I just got a new package of double stuffed Oreos about 2 hours ago. We were able to air fry them, so I opened up the package and saw that 10 were already eaten already. Who air fries Oreos? People... Okay, completely ignoring these... Wait, let me switch to here. Completely ignoring the story. You can air fry Oreos? Why would you do that? That sounds so American. Wait, I gotta... Using Oreos? Why would you do that? Oh, it's basically making cookies out of the Oreos. Okay, I see. I'm googling it right now. Here. It's just a bunch of cookie recipes, but why would you use a cookie to make a cookie? Yeah, it looks okay, if I'm gonna be honest, but I don't know. I don't feel that improves them too much. It's just some cookie dough around a cookie. It's a cookie. Also, Damn, don't shame people for eating snacks if you're buying the snacks. Maybe shame her if she like ate all of them, but God, that's so toxic just. Would I be the asshole if I told the women at my gym that she moans when she runs? Okay, let's see. Some context. 22-year-old female, been working out at my gym for almost 5 years and I've been employed there for 2.5 years. I've moved in rank pretty quickly here and I have a somewhat managerial position. This woman in her late 50s or early 60s has been working out here probably longer than I have, but only visits in the summertime with her husband. She's a very nice person and committed gym goer, but she runs on the treadmill for 30 to 40 minutes and moans the entire time. And when I say she moans, I promise I'm not being dramatic. It legit sounds like someone is playing porn in here while she is running. I believe she has headphones in, but I'm not sure she wears her hair. I'm not sure because she wears her hair down and has pretty long hair. I'm also not the only person who notices and who it bothers. I've had many people bring it up awkwardly, even my boss, he said something about it. Of course no one wants to say anything because of how uncomfortable it is. I legit can't take it, the sound makes me physically uncomfortable and I have to walk away from my post just to feel okay. We're also a small family-owned gym, so the rules are pretty basic and aren't posted anywhere. But we definitely don't appreciate unnecessary noises. I don't know what to do because my boss doesn't seem to have anything to say and obviously I don't either, but I'm at my breaking point. Hearing the sound makes me want to die and I can't express that enough. Should I say something? And has anyone else experienced something similar? I feel like some person just run like that, but okay. Edit, I did not expect this post to get so much traction. This was my first time posting on Reddit. Actually, like, it depends on how the moan sounds, but a lot of times it's just some exhales, right? This was low-key way too much, lol. I appreciate all the well thought out advice and honest feedback. I most likely won't say anything to her directly, but will inform my boss about how much of an issue it really is, and ask him to finally handle it. To those saying to use headphones, I'm at work and I have to be able to hear phone calls and knocks at the door. I'll also make sure to get rules posted somewhere that this can be taken care of better in the future. To all of those who made weird, rude comments, please touch grass and socialize with real people. I guess. Telling her can't be that bad, but if she really just can't stop it, shitting at her would be horrid. Am I the asshole for making my wife do all the cleaning while we have guests over? Okay, that sounds evil again. Let's see. Currently, me and my wife have my sisters and her 2 kids visiting us from the UK. They're going to be here for about a week and got here 4 days ago. My wife's friend just left our place the day before they arrived, after staying with us for 3 days. Oh no, not the UK! Okay, I gotta start reading again. Deep breath. I feel like I'm getting better at reading without stumbling over my words too much. What do you think? Am I the asshole for making my wife do all the cleaning when we have guests over? Currently, me and my wife have my wife's sister and the two kids visiting us from the UK. They're going to be here for about a week and got here 4 days ago. My friend just left our place the day before they appeared, after staying with us for 3 days. My wife has a weird thing about housekeeping. When we have guests over, she doesn't want to have the housekeeper over because she thinks it makes her look lazy and... no! Because she thinks it makes her look lazy and that she thinks having to shuffle everyone around when the housekeeper is here would make our guests feel uncomfortable. I'm going to be honest, I think those reasons are bullshit and stupid. So we haven't had the housekeeper over for almost 8 days now. She usually comes once a week, sometimes twice if necessary. And I've been really used to just doing light cleaning over the week instead of actually getting in the nooks and crannies. I'm not happy about it. About 3 days ago, I told my wife she could do the no housekeeper stuff, but she would have to clean the house though. Our house is kind of big, which makes me feel like I'm being unfair. But those are her arbitrary rules for her guests. This has become a big argument though, with my wife thinking I'm trying to nope out of chores. Sure, he can just help her, his wife. He should help his wife. But I still can't get over the housekeeping stuff. It makes her look lazy. I mean... yeah... obviously? Bro just really doesn't want to do chores. Having a housekeeper already is kind of like crazy if you're not like a gigantic family. And if they aren't talking about kids, but are they literally just two married people having a housekeeper? Like, can't you take care of yourselves? Am I the asshole for cursing at a neighbor who kept pestering me while I was helping out an out-of-town neighbor by cutting up fallen limbs after a storm? So during a major storm the other day, on top of a 75-foot oak tree... What? Oh, so during a major storm the other day, the top of a 75-foot oak tree broke off, bringing down several 10-inch diameter branches with it. The branches fell pretty much 50-50 on two neighbors' properties and laid about halfway across our private lane, which runs across neighbors' one's property. Oh my god, my voice. Neighbor 1 is out of town for a couple of weeks, so I text him to relax. I'll take care of it and head down with my trusty Milwaukee tool chainsaw. It's about 90 degrees and a similar humidity, and I'm cutting off branches. And I'm cutting off the branches and then cutting 10 from... Why is bro describing it that detailed? Okay, again. I'll take care of it and... and head down with my trusty Milwaukee chainsaw tool. It's about 90 degrees and a similar humidity, and I'm cutting off the branches and then cutting off 10-foot limbs into log-sized pieces. The stuff fell within 3 feet of the property line, and I'm making one pile for the limbs and stacking the logs in another. About 20 minutes into a 30-minute project when neighbor 2 comes out of their house walking towards me, jawing at me about throwing debris onto other property. I explained that I'm merely getting it out of the road for now, and that the owners will take care of the debris when they get home. She keeps jawing at me, saying she just spent hundreds of dollars cleaning up another debris from another neighbor's trees that fell into her yard a few weeks ago. I say again, it's just temporary. It will be all cleaned up. She continues and insists that I get all the debris off her property completely. So I say, sure lady, and proceed to haul off the crap to the other side of the lane and place it squarely on neighbor 1's property. She's still jawing at me. Make sure it's all of my property, then that sort of thing. Finally had enough and tell her to shut the fuck up. She was aghast. What did you say? I said shut the fuck up and go back to your fucking house. I'm continued to work cleaning the debris of her. So Bro just put it on her lawn for a couple of minutes and she yelled at him for it. Okay, I do not think this is interesting at all. Am I the asshole for not wanting to pay rent plus all the groceries? My boyfriend who owns his house. Plus all the groceries to my boyfriend who owns his house. Okay, let's see. My boyfriend, 45 male and I 33 female, have been together for about a year, and I moved in within about a month ago. Not even a year. We've gotten stuck on this rent thing a few times and I needed an outside perspective. He owns his own home outright, so there's no mortgage. It's a 2-bed, 2-bath house. One room is his office, hobby room, while I'm at the real estate agent, so I need to work. So while I'm a real estate agent. God, I can't read today. Okay, again. He owns his own home outright, so there's no mortgage. It's a 2-bath house. One room is his office hobby room, while I'm a real estate agent, so I need to work in the living room, dining room, which is fine. Early on in the relationship, he said if I moved in, I would pay all the groceries, and that would be it. This is the deal he had with his ex, but they were together for 7 years. Then, as it got close to moving in, he changed his mind, and he said he wanted me to pay rent in addition to paying all the groceries. Rent would be $400, groceries for him and I, plus groceries for him and I. When I moved in, rent was never mentioned, and it hasn't been for the last month, until we got in a fight last night. On one hand, I get paying something, splitting all costs, utilities, properties, tax, etc., splitting or even paying for all the groceries. He feels like I would be taking advantage of him by not paying rent. But if you're paying all the groceries, that's a shit ton of money. Like, God. And I feel slightly taken advantage of. Okay, I gotta start reading again. He feels like I would be taking advantage of him by not paying rent, and I feel slightly taken advantage of. That what I would be paying would be covering all the groceries, and that 500 would also cover all the utilities plus some. Okay, so basically the 400 are just all the utilities and all the groceries. So what is Bro even paying for at that point? On one side I am saving money being here, so he should also be saving money. But what amount of split is fair? Other details, we don't live in HCOL area, so we both have EV suction. Oh, they have electric vehicle. They have electric cars. We both clean. I do the vast majority of groceries, shopping, cooking, and the dishes. He mows and does us all the yard work. We both own investment properties in the area and are building equity here. Okay, so at that point I would just pay that, if I'm gonna be honest. It sounds like it doesn't even hurt her. But sure. I feel like they should find a better... They should find a better solution for that. Basically, her paying everything is a little insane. Actually, nah, her paying everything is just weird. I shouldn't think differently of her just because she has all that money. But yeah, that's just very weird of this guy, wanting his girlfriend to pay for everything when she moves in. Also, not gonna lie, I couldn't care less for this problem. It's just two people who already have too much arguing about who's paying less. At that point, why even care about money? Okay, last one for now. Would I be the asshole for asking my fiance's friend not to trash our wedding suit? I, 34 male, am marrying my long-term partner, 34 male in a few months. 35 male in a few months. He's part of a large friendship group who mostly met at university, although the group has expanded over the years to include partners and children. The group has a tradition of trashing the wedding suit during the reception. This usually involves covering the room in toilet paper, putting cling film over the toilet. Film over the toilet? Just like tape or what the fuck? Scattering belongings around and leaving something strange or sex-related under the sheets. It has happened at nearly every wedding in the group that I have attended. That's so gross. For context, my partner has rarely taken an active part in this, although he has sometimes gone along to watch. My own involvement has been limited to one occasion. Then I bought a risque book for someone I am particularly close with, and left it in their pillows. I would be perfectly happy to receive similar payback in kind, but I have never helped trash anyone's room. As far as I know, the group has never caused permanent damage or left the couple with extra charge from the venue. However, the expectation seems to be that the newlyweds will clean everything up themselves. Why do people do that? That's so weird. I really do not want this to happen to us. I have never understood the appeal of the tradition, and I dislike pranks and hazing generally. More importantly, I do not want a long, exciting but exhausting wedding day to end with us having to clean up a mess made by our guests. My partner agrees with me and has tried once to tell the group to not do it, but they have not taken him seriously. He is now asking to speak to them individually during our annual group holiday next week and make it clear that we genuinely do not want them to trash our room. That's an insane thing to have to tell people. Hey, we actually don't want you to ruin the completely wedding venue after we're done getting married. which is an insane question, is an insane statement to have to state to people. I'm worried that having to plead with them will create tension between me and the group, or more importantly, make them feel that I'm interfering with one of my partner's most important friendships. On the other hand, it is our wedding night and our room. I really don't want this to happen. Nah, not pleading with them, literally just telling them, don't do that or you're getting kicked out. Genuinely, that's so weird. Okay, last one. Am I the asshole for handling the cashier folded money? I'm 16-year-old and was allowed on a Burger King. My wallet had too much room, so all the notes were has not much room, so all the notes were folded. When I gave the cashier $10 folded note, €10 folded note, he stopped, looked at me and seriously asked, "Is that how you hand over money?" What? That is a very weird one. People care about money not being folded? Well, okay, that was just 2 sentences. Why is this up with the filtered posts? Huh. Okay. Good enough. I would switch over to... Yeah, okay, actually switch over to... Let's switch over to Am I the Devil for one last post. I wanna see someone be a weirdo. Those are always the most fun posts. Okay. Me, 24 male, and my friends went to go get brunch today in London. Wow, nice. I've been to the restaurant a couple of times before. They serve pretty good food. Basically, I will always go for the same option. Hash potatoes with chorizo. It's a very nice meal, but contains some spinach. I do not like eating spinach. Not allergic, I just don't like it. And I asked the waitress kindly to take it out of my food. He will never be Popeye. That's where the trouble began. However, initially she said it's not possible to take it out, as it's cooked into the food itself. I was willing to be lenient, so I said fine, I'll just put it to the side while I'm eating my potatoes. At this point, all my friends started laughing at me and ganged up on me with the waitress, who started to make jokes at my expense. That you're not gonna be Popeye? I found this unacceptable, but I was willing to move on nonetheless, so I just decided to order some dessert instead. At this point, the waitress, jokingly but still, said, "If you don't eat your greens, you can't get other dessert." Okay, I like this waitress. At this point, I completely lost it. I'm literally paying for my food and service here, yet I'm being bullied by everybody around me. I don't think this is very professional. So I wanted to voice my dissatisfaction by writing a highly negative Google review and storming out of the review restaurant. No, not the negative Google review. Oh my god, that reminds me, I once got, not even joked at, literally just straight up insulted at a coffee shop. So for once I was actually leaving a restaurant review and was like, hey, those people are kind of mean. And it immediately got deleted, which is very funny. My friends literally found it really funny, but now are telling me to grow up and stop acting like a child. I feel like I am within my rights deciding whether or not I want to eat spinach, and I do not want to be called the asshole just because I don't like certain food items. Okay. Bro was really getting angry. Storming out is also insane. Just leaving normally is what you should do at that point, if you're really annoyed at it. Oh god! That next post... I am not touching that. I am not even reading that, because that person isn't even the asshole, that person is, well, obviously the devil. But oh my god, that person just needs to be beat up. That person really needs to be beat up, and I feel like most people in that subreddit should also be beat up. Ew, gross. I hate it when people call... Bro literally just... I hate it when people call him... He hates being called misogynist for wanting to control women and their bodies. Insane. I am not reading that. Yeah! Ew, I am... That's why I'm not touching that one. That person just seems to be insane. Am I overreacting to my mother mailing out a formal Labor Day to my... 1 second. There we go. Am I overreacting to my mother mailing out formal Labor Day invitations on the exact day I mailed out wedding invitations last year? Maybe I'm overreacting, but I wanted feedback because my husband doesn't seem to agree or think anything of it. Well, my mother is a covert narc. Everything she does that's narc-driven is done in private or attempts at manipulation or gaslighting. And she's never mailed out invitations to anything ever, especially not fucking Labor Day. Internally I'm screaming that it's weird and abnormal, but people think it's innocent, like they do about everything she does. I think it's freaky and just another attempt at drawing away any perceived attention to come my way. Huh? Without directly connecting to her. Ah, my Labor Day party is right around your bridal party type shit. What? Is it just because it's the same... The mailing out date, not even the same date for the day, it's just the same mailing out date? That's so weird, why do you care? Once McDonald's for wedding catering. Okay, I gotta read that one. No! No, it has been removed. Okay, they can't just remove that one. I needed to read that. Where's... Huh? Wait, where did it go? Ah, whatever. The events aren't even on the same day, that's the point. That's like, huh? She just got out angry because it's the same mailing date. Okay, let's go for best top of this week. Huh? I don't know if I want to read that one. That sounds very disgusting, but sure. Am I the asshole for refusing to see my husband's teenage mistress as a victim? This is a throwaway account for obvious reason, but for some background, I, 62F, have been with my husband, 52F. Ew! This plus the title is already enough to make me just... Ah, no! Okay, you have with him for 3 years, married not even one. Wait, Labor Day and Labor Day. I don't know the second one. There it is. Oh! Never mind. I don't know the first one. Huh? Okay. Yeah, very confusing. Yeah, I do know the first May. At the same time, I just gotta be honest, I did not know that there was a second one. Why is there a second one? Okay. Yeah, like, there is a second one, but only in the US? Canada and Australia. Ah, okay, okay. Okay. Let me restart reading this one without wanting to throw up. Am I the asshole for refusing to see my husband's teenage mistress as a victim? It's a throwaway account for obvious reason, but for some background, I, 62F, have been with my husband, 52UM, for 3 years, married not even one. We moved to a different country together and live a nice quiet life in rural Europe. Okay. A few days ago, his phone was buzzing off the hook while he was in the shower. Thinking it was news about his sister who had been ill back in the US, I checked the screen and saw many notifications, looked through everything, and long story short, he had been cheating on me, online, with a high schooler. From what I could tell, it had been going on for more than a year. When I confronted him about it, he told me what I believe is the whole truth. They had started talking when she was 15. And now she's 17. I felt sick, obviously, and demanded... Okay, I gotta start again. I felt sick, obviously, and demanded to know how serious it was. Evidently, it was pretty serious. He said he sent her money every month, bought her underwear, and asked and received inappropriate photo. Okay, the husband is just a pedophile, and his wife isn't seeing his victim as a victim. Okay, yeah, that's really just absolute asshole behavior. I can't read more of that. Ah, how can you even excuse that as not being a literally just your husband grooming kids online and not seeing the victims as victims is very disgusting. Okay, let's go for this one. It's the second highest, so I wanna see it. Am I the asshole for telling my daughter I don't owe her... Wait, I wanna go to the main post. Am I the asshole for telling my daughter I don't owe her anything and that she needs to learn to be respectful? It may sound harsh if you don't have context. I, 39M, have custody of my daughter Rose. 9 female. I don't owe anything to my 9-year-old daughter. I don't owe anything to my 9-year-old daughter. Grr. Okay, that is an insane title. I am interested on the continuation. For only a portion of time. Oh yeah, you only have custody for only a portion of the time. I pick her up every other Friday after school and drop her off at school the next Monday. My ex-wife has her the majority of the time. I want to say that Rose has been diagnosed with ADHD. Being a parent with a disabled child is so much harder than having a normal child. God, no. Don't say. I mean, sure, it's harder, but oh my god. Fuck you. I've made many sacrifices for Rose. I still have to monitor her if she's 5 and have to make sure she doesn't watch TV unless her homework is done. She also has a bad listener and I have to have extreme patience whenever I'm dealing with her. I also have to split costs with my ex to pay for a math tutor for Rose because she rarely focuses in class. As someone who really couldn't focus as a kid and had to learn all of that myself, oh my god, it's so hard to focus in class. I don't even have ADHD or anything like that. I just have some problems staying focused. So I can't even imagine how hard it has to be to actually stay focused in class if you have a disability that's well, making it even worse for you. Last week I had to pick her up and take her to the grocery store because we needed dinner supplies. I was listing off the dinner ingredients and couldn't remember one. Rose suggested one that I forgot and I told her that was it. She puffed out her chest and said, "No need to thank me," in a very arrogant way. We were at a red light, so I turned to her and sternly asked Rose, "What did you say?" Huh? She mumbled out, "Never mind." I firmly explained to her that is extremely inconsiderate and disrespectful. I don't owe you anything. I don't have to do half the stuff I do for you. So you need to really think about the way you talk to me and be grateful. About her... about her joking, "No need to thank me," when she reminded you about an ingredient you're missing for your shopping list. That's crazy. That's crazy. What's... Bro just has anger issues. Rose rather insincerely mumbled out sorry and was quiet for the rest of the time. She sat in the back seat even when I offered her to sit in front again. I even offered her ice cream, but she said no and would refuse to look at me. Yeah, well, because you're fucking yelling at your kid, or firmly explained that's gotta be yelling. Fuck this guy, yeah. We got home and she did her work, a reading project she was supposed to finish in class that day, without having to monitor her, but then didn't want to watch a movie with me. She was really quiet for the entire weekend. God, I hate it when when parents yell at their kids and just think it's the most normal thing ever. Or even just be mean to their kids. Even if that wasn't yelling and just a bemeaning voice, just fuck that guy. My ex blew up my phone on Tuesday saying she knows what you told Rose and that I'm a horrible father. Or also just saying I don't owe you anything is insane. My ex is honestly the reason that Rose acts entitled and still has meltdowns. God damn it, if you're just... What am I supposed to do? Stop disciplining Rose just because she has a tantrum? That wasn't even a tantrum! What's wrong with you? As I said, I make many sacrifices to help Rose. I drive Rose to and from school. Like a normal parent, and she doesn't have to walk there 3 miles. I buy her toys and other things. And just last month I agreed to babysit Rose for 3 days when her ex-mother was in hospital. Oh my god! At that point, just be an absent father and it would be better. My father was barely in my life. He wouldn't buy me things and would make me walk home. Rose isn't a baby anymore. Okay, so he just wants to be a shitty father because his dad was a shitty father. Oh my god, I hate that guy. Okay. But chat. That's it for today. I'm gonna end it for now because I'm already realizing my voice isn't doing as well. So I'll see you all again on Wednesday when I'm playing Cult of the Lamb. You can all join me on the save file via the Twitch integration, which is really cool. So make sure to show up and claim your follower or whatever. Okay, so bye-bye. Let's see if I can find someone to raid. Don't have anyone. Oh. Let's rate you. Okay, bye-bye.